Star Wars. Not really a topic we usually cover on this channel. We're so used to doing only 3D animation that I've always fobbed off live action to the side. But you know what? Screw it. It's CinemaCon this week. There's gonna be a million trailers from all sorts of different franchises and formats. And if there is any kind of movie that's gonna get me back into the world of Star Wars after dud after dud after dud, that being the sequel series, it would be The Mandalorian and Grogu.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter.
Yeah, they're all owned by Disney. We've all heard stories. To be fair, this is one I would like to keep up with more, faintly. Not doing a good job so far. Now, let me explain a little bit of my personal history with Star Wars, because I think I'm going to be going into this as a little bit of a more classic standard normie. I know all of the Star Wars movies. It's probably pretty minimum background, and specifically with The Mandalorian, this is my stuff.
I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Man, I can already tell I can get into this again. It's been a long time since I've thought about Star Wars and The Mandalorian in general, but something I do definitely remember my take on Star Wars is that actually I like the whole world that doesn't involve the lightsabers. Seeing just like fantasy guns and fantasy swords and armor scratches my brain in a certain way that's just a lot more effective than magical laser sword fighters. And that's why I actually found Mandalorian was one of the one stories I could really stick to. I've seen all the Star Wars movies. You know, I wasn't there for the originals. I didn't watch the prequels at the time. I just watched them all since like 2012 onwards. But I wouldn't say they are my nostalgic childhood thing. But this vibe I can get into. I absolutely adored the original Mandalorian season back when it was first coming out, and same to season 2, soaked it all in. I have a million takes on Star Wars that I'll be revealing in some of these reaction shots in a minute, but that is practically all I know. I had great fun with Disney Plus shows when Disney Plus was more of an early thing, but since then, I've fallen off of the Star Wars wagon. Oh, and like the designs of the aliens as well. I love this stuff. And it's nice to see. I'm not going to get any of the references. I'm sure that's already quite clear. I don't know who this guy is, if he's meant to be a guy that we know. Does he climb mountains with those ski hooks? I don't know. But a great design. I like it. I did not watch Book of Boba Fett. I did not watch that one. Nor did I watch that one. I didn't watch that. Don't even know what they're called. I did see Star Wars Visions. Loved a good bunch of those episodes. But I don't even know the full Mandalorian story anymore because I realize it is followed up in Book of Boba Fett, but I don't have the childhood nostalgia for Star Wars and Boba Fett in general. To me, Mandalorian is my ride or die. Love the universe of his series. Everything else Star Wars, I'm just neutral. Oh, I know that theme. I'm not nostalgic for it, but I know that theme. We love a little bit of a leitmotif. And to be fair, this movie's going to be doing a lot of balancing of die-hard Star Wars fans that know everything the Mandalorian and Grogu has done up to this point, and then the other side of hopefully people that have seen the Disney Plus series, but even if they haven't, it should be pretty open for everyone to perceive, and I'm somewhere in the middle. Now, that being said, this trailer looks pretty damn good. Star Wars, I think it's fair to say, has had a long, rough time, especially specifically for the cinematic experience, and I've not really been around for any of it actually being good. As I said, the childhood nostalgia just isn't there for me, even though I am more of a sci-fi guy than a fantasy guy, but Star Wars never really hooked for me.
The old protect the young.
Either way, I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. It's simple roller coaster stuff, but it's enjoyable simple roller coaster stuff. But the world of Mandalorian absolutely teeters that line perfectly because of its slightly new twang on the universe. Very nice, very cool. It's a nice like cyberpunk noir aesthetic they have there. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a million aesthetics bundled into one. When it is just like on the ground, walking through the worlds, I think Star Wars is a lot more interesting. For me, personally. It's no longer about the magical Jedi and all this. It's a little bit more grounded. Still like a bounty hunter, gun, bladesmith, sure. But something about the mechanics and maybe the fact that it's a longer runtime in series form just hooked me in a way I really enjoyed. And I actually do have hopes that this movie will do well.
This is the way.
And of course, they had to put the line in there. And I enjoyed that line back in the day. It's been so long, I've not thought about that line. They would put it in this. That makes sense. I think in general, it makes sense that this has been a long pipeline of plans. Like, this is like 6 years in the making at this point, isn't it? Maybe 7? When did the original Mandalorian come out? By releasing first a TV series on Disney+, Disney are able to really soak in the world and their characters, really get audiences involved in the tale they're telling, rather than shoving something out in a quick 2 hours and making it up as you go along.
Are you scared?
Good job, baby.
Hey there! Thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you're interested in more trailer reactions. To be honest, I might generally do more Star Wars and live-action trailers in general. They're fun to make, nice to talk about something non-animated every now and again, and they're relatively short and sweet. So if you want to see more of new trailers and our thoughts on it, you know what to do. Anyway, now to the second half of this video.
Good job, baby.
Yeah, okay, see, like, I was enjoying this. I was like, oh, the roller coaster of the ship, the roller coaster of the pod, the roller coaster of swinging through the city. Good job, baby. I'm not sold on that, but what can I say? I like the visuals, don't like that they speak English. And then only now, once we've got the establishment, we know kind of what we're in for, then we can give it a bigger budgeted 2-hour bombastic bash.
It's about preventing another war.
Hey, look who it is. Very nice. The classic Disney's got to have a celebrity for the casting. Although in an ironic way, it's kind of like refreshing how the main character of this was at first Pedro Pascal, a lot more before his current hit fame. Sure, he was still post Game of Thrones at the time, but he was still kind of underground enough that they were okay with him wearing a helmet the whole time. Is he still gonna wear the helmet the whole time? I'll be impressed if they did that this movie. I think this is kind of meant to be the trial of this exact formula, and considering they're still sending out so many TV series, I'm not surprised if there's gonna be all the more like this.
Mandalorian will suffer.
What do you know? They took his helmet off. I knew they wouldn't. Like, you could tell from a meta sense, like, oh, our main character in a movie is suddenly one of the biggest names in cinema at this time. In one of these recent years, he was like #1 probably. No, of course we gotta show his face the whole damn time. Forget about the ethos that he can act so well without any facial expressions, and that's part of the charm. Just show him all the time. At least they're keeping it reserved. If it's only one shot so far, hopefully it's just because he has his privacy invaded in this scene. You just knew they had to do that scene, and you knew they had to put it in the trailer. Just makes sense, doesn't it? But this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a Star Wars movie, other than maybe the concept of the 2015 movie, just because it was new. As for the actual beats of the trailer, I think it's hitting all the marks I want it to.
I'll be right behind you.
The aesthetics so far are incredible. Whether it is a CGI background 360 set that they're working with, or maybe the fact that they do have a good ethos with practical effects. Grogu is basically a puppet again, not CGI. That as well, I think, is why I fell in love with Mandalorian the first time. I remember saving like a calendar of concept art for the show just to plaster it on a canvas. I never did. I'm not allowed to put anything up on my walls, but still, the idea is the same. Yes, it does kind of feel like a corporate roller coaster of a movie.
Hey. Oh, the horrible baby. The bad baby.
That's the kind of goofy I remember from, like, the originals. It's like, whatever that vibe is of these gooky little guys. I like it more when they're gibberish. There's a lot of gibberish speaking aliens in Star Wars. When it goes, horrible baby, bad baby. I want to say I'm not really the type of person who should be allowed to have a take like that. I'm not a super fan, but I am still a person. Am I allowed to have a take? I don't like them going, bad baby. Feels a little bit like, I don't know. It feels weirdly like corporate. Like it's going to be some sort of quote you're going to see stitched together on some low-priced t-shirt they're going to sell at Primark in a couple of months' time. I'm used to really, with these trailers, breaking down to see if there's anything a little bit more under the surface. I do like dissecting my movies quite a lot. You kind of don't do that with modern-day Disney. Not done that with Star Wars ever. And I can sense that this is, the big name doing a simple movie.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
I will say, though, as well, I'm not hooking on to whatever the plot of this trailer is, because I ain't reading one out of it. It's just the characters go on an adventure. That'll do, actually. It is a very movie. It's interesting, because I wonder if this will... I'm sure it'll be fine, it'll be decent. I do think one of the highlights of The Mandalorian, the original series, is that it was a series. You could really sink your teeth into every location and every character. I think it's kind of a more successful medium to play and tell your story because of just the runtime difference. If it does just boil down to a 2-hour action fest, that's exactly probably what we expect to see of it. But I don't know, I feel like maybe Star Wars works better as a TV show? Is that what I liked the most out of the original Mandalorian? Maybe. Add on to the fact that we know it's only going to be like a 2-hour film. It's not going to be a deep form dissection or anything. But still, it looks palatable and enjoyable. It seems to actually be running with a little bit of the emotions that Grogu and Mandalorian have. Lovely. That is like the bare minimum. And there's action in all sorts of forms that are enjoyable in a lot of ways. You've got the cute moments with Grogu.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor first.
Oh, Grogu has armor now? I mean, I guess that makes sense. I never really thought of that. Man, war is hell. Baby's gotta wear armor, huh? The quirky alien characters, and I appreciate the full scale of these characters too. I'm liking as well the scale of this. Like, it's nice to see there are little guys and there are big guys. Am I being too easy on a new Star Wars movie? Maybe it is because I want to have a good Star Wars experience, you know? The movies, the last 3, they weren't good, were they? There's a reason they've been dug into the trenches of Disney Plus for ages, trying out a million ideas and still splattering out more. It's because they've been such a flop. They need time to soak in a world, and then I guess they'll give it the cinematic experience. Not a bad trajectory, I don't think. To be fair. It's simple, it's nice. Maybe a movie taking the simple route is the best case scenario for Star Wars right now. It's often the case anyway with franchises that movie 1 is safe in order to make sure they can secure sequels. If this counts as movie 1 after 2 series and then Book of Boba Fett bumping up the story, plot, and characters, sure. Play it safe, why not? And this could very well be the gateway drug that gets me back into Star Wars movies once they start releasing a bunch more. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the thing that enforces me to watch Andor and Book of Boba Fett and whatever the hell else they're splatting out as Ahsoka. Ahsoka? See, I don't know Star Wars. This guy, whatever this villain is, incredible aura farmer. With like the backlighting, the rain, it's visually fantastic. Oh, actually, since doing a hint of research, we do actually know this villain. He does exist already. This is Embo. Great visuals, and I come to learn, just by looking at Google Images, that he's from that TV show, Clone Wars, that's the one. You probably won't be surprised to hear, Star Wars The Clone Wars, I've also not seen, but I have heard very good things, and it's something I might actually get around to like reacting to on the channel. We'll gather like the best and worst episodes, put them together, see how people feel. I'm especially open to things when it is 3D animation, and it does seem to be well within my ballpark. And maybe a movie like this will finally get me back into the mindset of Star Wars, because I enjoyed it back in like 2020. I was in the vibes back in the day. I'll still stand here and say that the best of Star Wars is in fact Mandalorian, and generally some of the Disney Plus series is, if not just random episodes of Star Wars Visions. Remember the one with the Sith twins? Mwah, love that stuff.
The young.
Kind of spoiling that Grogu helped in that fight. Maybe it's an early movie fight. But as someone coming into this new Star Wars movie, rolling out as one of a dozen, I'm sure, eventually, as a little bit of a normie that doesn't know the full thing, but is certainly intrigued and on board with most of what this universe has to offer, I'm actually quite looking forward to this.
Protect the old.
Oh, and I guess that too. That shot. That's what it was all for. And depending on how the response is on this video, maybe we'll do a review on the day, May 22nd. Can't make any guarantees. But at least taking a little peek into a live-action trailer, why not? It's been CinemaCon this week anyway. Or, I guess last week. I'll enjoy it nonetheless, and maybe I'll watch it in my personal time. Man, they're finally trying to get rid of the name Baby Yoda, huh? I guess they succeeded. It's been a long time, but still. For now, though, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell us your thoughts on all things Mandalorian and Grogu. It's a whole new corner of cinema we don't really cover on the channel. So now's your best chance to rant about Star Wars or tell me what adjacent thing to watch alongside this. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more, but otherwise, I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!